So, Boa Hancock without Jinbei. Definitely an interesting thing we have to kind of work around, right? Very much a lot of Boa's aggression was just cheating out buys with Jinbei, right? Now we're a lot slower of a deck post-ban, but I think we can still make it work. Obviously, we did get hit pretty hard from the bans with losing Jinbei, but I think Boa's strength always came from denying your opponent's tempo and kind of gaining value from our draw engine while establishing our late game pieces to kind of go for game later on. I personally loved the events, running them in Boa, and just kind of the curve of 4-cost Law into a Jozu or a Gyros, and then finishing off with a Kaido to kind of sequence our bodies throughout the game while bouncing our opponents. Really fun form of blue control. But before we get into the deck list, make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Hope you're all doing well in set 10. And if you guys want to support me in any way, I've got my TCG player link in the description. Affiliated with TCG player. If you guys are picking up any singles for the game or anything off a TCG player, you can click the link in the description and help support me. I also have a coupon code Straw Hat Pecan for 5% off of Nen Garden for any of their playmats. I use the Shanks one, but they have a lot of really nice designs, and they're running a sale, buy one get one 40% off, and that stacks with my code, so pretty nice. But let's get into this. Obviously, just taking out Jinbei, we want to find some kind of a replacement, and thinking about what Jinbei did for us, well, it did a lot, and there's not really a good replacement for it. However, with the early game cheating out bodies, that was a way to establish a board while getting cards out of our hand, right? To keep our leader ability on, if you're not familiar with Boa, being a 5 life blue leader, 5k power, and then during your turn, once per turn, activate this ability when a character leaves play from one of your abilities. If you have 5 or less in your hand, you draw 1 card. So basically, we want to either counter out a little bit aggressively or just play out more characters. So with a 4-down option of cheating out a body, right? Not only is that good aggression and board presence, but it's the fact that it got 2 cards out of our hand. Often you would use the Jinbei in partner with the Bounce Law, but still it's playing out 2 characters out of your hand. So what I did was just add more 1 costs and 3 costs just to have stuff on the board so it's out of our hand. So that way, once we start using our bounce abilities or events, we can most likely draw with our leader. So we still are primarily running the Warlords package with the 3-cost blocker Doflamingo on play. Stack the top 5 of your cards, either top or bottom. Really nice to know what you're going to get with the ability to draw an extra card, right? Knowing what you're going to draw into is kind of crucial. Same thing with Perona, right? Accomplishing the same thing with a 1-cost. Look at top 5, rearrange them in any order. Again, just having a 1-cost to play out, to get cards out of our hand, and also things that we can bounce back with like the Law or Jozu, really nice. We got Kaya, our first 2k counter on play, draw 2, trash 2. Great way to cycle out our hand. Obviously, as you can tell, we don't have any 0-cost events, but we can always trash with Kaya. I would like to put a couple of Mihawk back in. I think, yeah, looking at it, I do want to put a couple of Mihawk, maybe like 1 buggy. Like the one of Mihawk is fine enough because we run the Sengoku, so it's just another target for that. Again, having more Perona kind of accomplishes the 1-don cost of the buggy. Other than that, he's a searchable 2k counter. Then we got the 10-cost Kaido, 10-12, on play return a cost 8 and 3-cost character to the original owner's hand. These can be from your board or your opponent's. Remember, if you are playing against green with the Tashigi, if they have an 8-cost kid and the Tashigi out on board, this will not go off. Even though you're bouncing both targets, the Tashigi will rest herself to save them both, right? Is what it is, right? You'll have to get rid of the Tashigi first and then the kid. Then we got the 2k Croc On play, rest of dawn, return a cost 2 or lower character to the owner's hand. This is obviously good to get rid of blockers. There's a lot of 2 cost or lower blockers in the meta right now, but also can be used on R's to get back like a Kaya or send Goku to hand to search again, or just get counter back to our hand. Then we got 4 Jozu, 671. On play, return one of your characters other than this card to your hand. Return a cost 6 or lower character to the original owner's hand. Really good tempo play. On 6 Dawn, you're pretty much getting, even if they ramp, right, you're hitting any 6 cost or lower, so whatever your opponent just played out. Same breath, we got the Kuro 7-9. On play, return a cost 5 or lower to the owner's hand. I really like this just for the stat line. We don't run the 9 cost Mihawk, so this is our second biggest stat line in the deck, which is, you know, a little important in some matches, right? Having a 9k power is a lot harder to remove, especially with how prevalent red decks are. And a 5 cost or lower is still really good tempo. Obviously, the alternative for this was the 7 cost Doflamingo that bounces a 7 cost. And then we have the one of Mihawk, 2k counter, 4/5 Dawn ×1, draw 2, trash 2, some more cycle. Then we have the Law Blocker 1 cost. Again, having low cost characters in the deck is really important to play stuff out. So again, our hand size is 5 or lower for our lead ability, but also there's still a lot of big bodies in the current meta. So having a 1 Dawn blocker can come in pretty handy sometimes. And then we have the Bounce Law 4/5/1. On play, return one of your characters to the owner's hand, and then if your leader has the 7 Warlords type, you can bounce a 4 cost or lower card to the owner's hand. Again, you can target Law for the first target of this, and then bounce a 4 cost on your opponent's board. So if you need to get rid of a blocker to go for game, it is a way to do so. You don't have to have another card other than Law on your board, which is kind of crazy, and why I thought it was going to be a target for the bans, but it wasn't. Then we got the Buggy, 1 Dawn. On play, look at top 3 cards. Turn them in any order at the top of the deck. Can't bottom deck them, so that's why it's a little bit... It's a give and take. It's a 2k counter, but Perona can look at top 5 and stack them on top or bottom. So, searchable 2k counter though, and a 1 cost to bounce back with like Jozu or something. Then getting into our bends, we got 2 3000 Worlds. I really like this against Blackbeard, getting rid of their Burgess, right? The 4 cost. Obviously, it does have some advantages in other matchups, being it bottom decks a 5 cost for 4 Dawn, hits Ploofy pretty decently, getting rid of their early game aggression. And then we have 3 Red Rock. Again, there's a lot of big bodies in the meta. Any 10 drop Shanks, 10 drop Blackbeard, just to get rid of it for 4 Dawn. It's really nice. I mean, for 6 Dawn, having 4 Dawn left. But before, you know, we would have 4 Dawn left. You could play out a Jinbei into something else as well. You know, play out 2 characters and bottom deck just anything, super good. But now we can't, unfortunately. You can still play out like a Bounce Law or something. Then we got 1 Houndblaze. I've seen this in a couple of Boa lists. And again, I do like this as it is 2 Dawn. One of your leader characters gets plus 3000. So obviously it's just pretty good value, getting plus 3 for 2 Dawn. And then you can bottom deck a 2 cost or lower character. Again, with how prevalent 2 cost and lower blockers are, with like Rosinante in green, really nice to get rid of those while buffing a character, maybe to swing into like an 8 cost kid or something. And then we got Gravity Blade, 3 copies. Again, with green, getting rid of their Smoker, Cavendish, Carrot, the 5 cost Bonnie, any of that. Really, really nice. And it also has a pretty good trigger to bottom deck a 5 cost out of your life. Really good. But yeah, definitely hit hard with the list, losing Jinbei. But we'll see. It might not be the worst. It's definitely not as good as it would have been if we still had Jinbei. But I like the control form of blue. It's pretty fun. So let me know what you think of the list. And let's get into some games. We got Rebecca. I mean, I want to go second. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Definitely pretty good. Let's go. That's a really good hand. So we've got a searcher. We got 2 1 costs to play out on our 2 Dawn. The stage that early is kind of crazy. Let's go here. Yeah, bounce law. I think I'm gonna search again. Probably pick up another bounce law. Honestly, yeah, I think another bounce law, pretty good. In case the first one gets taken out. But now we can. Kyros is just by KO, right? 3 cost. It's been a while. Just Rebecca though, so that's, I guess, good for us. We can get both of our searchers to hand. I don't know if I want to. It gets out. Activate main. I remember this card. Yeah. Okay. And then they get the 7 cost Luffy. Well, since they can't swing, we weren't able to counter out. Might just bounce back one of my searchers just for play it out again, counter, something like that. I don't know. He takes the first 5k swing. I mean, I could also just swing. No, we'll just bounce back. I don't really want to give you your searcher back. A bit slower of a start for him. For sure. But we'll see if I need a Jozu. Next turn we have that option. Hand size is too big because he can't swing at me, which kind of sucks. I mean, next turn I could play out. So that's why I was worried about losing the law, but okay. Yeah, it's just KO'd. So I can bottom deck him too. Or I can just bounce it with Jozu. Poke 5s. Okay, and we got another searcher. We'll swing after just in case he gets a trigger to KO my searcher. And then poke 5. Hopefully the 6-7 is a little bit harder for him to remove on 7 Dawn. Either way, we're still just kind of poking him while getting all of our cards back to hand, so we can keep removing anything he plays out. Like, we can bottom deck that Luffy if he plays it out with Red Rock. I don't know if he plays out any other top end, like a 10 cost Kuzan. He could play out the Luffy. He does not. Okay, so he's made my 4 cost. And then, okay. The new Zoro. Interesting. I can bounce back and then bottom deck. But then I have no board. Which kind of sucks. Gravity Blade would be nice here. Yeah, I can law bounce that. Yeah, I guess so. We'll just poke 5. This will probably be a very slow match. I gotta be honest. Very slow match. Gives it 2k. Let's bottom deck a Zoro so we can't KO. And then law, bounce, bounce. Get rid of that. No board for either of us. But I get to swing at him, so I'm winning this exchange. Luffy comes out. Can't do anything with it because I don't have any characters. He draws another Luffy. Interesting. I can play out 4 searchers. I have every searcher in my deck, I just realized. Holy crap. That is a little excessive. I mean, we can get rid of one of his Luffy's and then he has another. But if I just have 4 searchers, like, is he gonna do much? Oh, I can't pick up Kaido. Can't pick up Grab Blade or Red Rock. Don't know what I'm saying today. I wish I could pick up Grab Blade. I always like think that I can. I think we'll take a bounce law. Sure. I should have just stacked with like, I did not need to play out 4 searchers, but it's just funny at this point. Is that a whiff? That's fine. We'll just push these up higher. We'll pick up 2K, and then let's Red Rock his Luffy. Unfortunately, we haven't had a low enough hand size to draw anything, but we've successfully removed his entire board. There's the other Luffy. If he wants to swing at my searchers, that's fine. He doesn't, it seems. I might be able to get rid of and use my thing, right? I have to play out 3 characters though. I can bounce his... I can play a bounce law, give back one of mine, and get another back with a croc. Yeah, that's fair. And then I can swing 6. I did want to get rid of the Luffy, but you know, is what it is. Bounce, bounce. I could also play out 2 blockers. Because he can swing. We have a lot of options. So I can search. I kind of want to stack. That's too many, then I'd have to trash something. I think I'd rather just establish a body, sure. Bring him back. We'll see what he wants to do. Yep. We'll go 2 and 1. Get him to use his activate main. Because honestly, I kind of wanted to have to counter out so that way I could finally use my lead ability after this long time. Puts back his trash, so now he'll be frozen. Just goes another 7. Well, I don't actually have another 2K, unfortunately. But next turn we can possibly bottom deck something with a grab blade. Depends on what he plays out. If he plays out like 2 characters to KO my... Oh, just another one. Interesting. Sure. That is unfortunate. Kyros. Okay. No, that's not great. We knew he had the Kyros. Let's see. I can grab blade the Kyros, search, and play out a law. We're just poking. Let's see, because we could possibly... Let's go here, search. I'm also trying to think about what my... Let's pick up a 2K. Put the Red Rock to hopefully push it up. Search again. Probably pick up another 2K. Bottom deck, and then yeah, we'll just grab blade. Boom, draw. Nice, got another 2K. Okay. He's hoping to find. I mean, we bottom decked one of his Luffy's. He did push it back up with putting back all that trash, right? We still are at 5 life. That's the thing. But we haven't been able to establish much of a board. Like here. Okay, yep. Our Kyros 7 cost would be pretty good. Sabo. Fair enough. And a blocker. Interesting. Does not swing at me. Oh, man. We'll get rid of his blocker. Or wait, this is for any other character? Yeah. Okay. I mean, we can get rid of both of them still. So we have to target this and that. And then target this and that. We'll search again. Okay. Pick a blocker, Dofi. Well, I'm gonna just poke 5, get some counter, then Perona. Okay, perfect. All right, so next turn we'll draw into, I want to say, Kaido actually would be really good. Something along those lines. Okay, because we can get back the Kyros and a Luffy. We have a lot of 2Ks. And I'll probably just want to swing at my board with his Luffy's, I guess. We'll give 2 and 1. Get another swing out of them. Sure. Will he swing at my life? He picks up a Frankie. Okay. Sabo coming back out. So unfortunate for us on that regard. So we have to target the Sabo, right? I know I have that grab blade, but that means I don't know why I didn't take the Kyros for this turn, because he would have put back the, yeah, that's, I'm stupid for that. I can Kaya. I think that gets me down there. I don't, where did I put the Kyros? My short-term memory. My dang short-term memory, man. My short-term memory. We'll keep, and we'll just Jozu. Get back our Kaya. Get rid of the Sabo. Draw. There's our bounce law. I think we're just going to swing 8, I guess. Try and burn him down a bit. We have a decent amount of counter if he wants to swing just the 7s there. He blocks out. Probably should have swung 7. Could have swung 3 at or how much is Barto? Yeah, he's 3, so I could have swung 3 again. Yeah, unfortunate. Oh man. Oh, it's such a grind with like something like this. Oh man. All right. 9. Go 2 and 1. Get him to commit a lot of Dawn, I guess. He does have enough trash to do it, but then that'll force him to you know, put back, and then he can only do it once. Still hasn't swung the Kyros at me. It's kind of crazy. It's like Boa can't really be starved out too much as long as we get our leader ability online, right? We can keep drawing with that. We're down to 19. Is he just hoping I deck out? Is that the game plan? He might just be hoping I deck out. All right, let's go. Get rid of the Luffy and Barto. Draw. Go 5. So that one's frozen. He takes the 5. Sorry, I don't get it. Like, why not swing with Kyros unless you're just literally hoping I deck out at this point? You have 10 cards in hand. I don't think we... Yeah, we don't have the pudding, which really should put back in, especially with Jinbei being gone. I think, I don't know. Pudding was good when we had Jinbei in because of that, like, aggression from early game. Like, you could get some hits on, but especially with green being kind of prevalent. But yeah, getting through 10 cards and like a lot of blockers is gonna be pretty rough. But like the fact that he's not swinging at me is kind of crazy, right? Like he's just been using his Luffy's to clear the board, and then just not doing anything else. So I really should have, I don't know, maybe prioritized using my 3-cost blocker Dofi to find my 10 cost. We can bounce one of his blockers back and just punch his life, I guess. It's kind of, I mean, we have a decent amount, but also he's running out of time and 9 minutes left. Yeah. Okay. Still doesn't swing. Okay, maybe we'll just grab blade both of his blockers. Sure. So we'll swing 7, play out a blocker. If he counters out, I think we'll swing at his Luffy, maybe? I don't know. Just so we can get rid of it. Cool. We know he has another one, but is what it is. Because he just hasn't swung at all with the Kyros, which is kind of crazy. Picks up. He's had that in his hand for a while, right? It's hard to keep track of his trash when he's, you know, bottom decking a lot of it. So he uses that to try and clear the Kaido. Okay, yep. I mean, we got rid of his Luffy. 5 Don. We'll just use this to clear blocker. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're clearing my blocker if you're not going to swing at me. Let's bounce back our counter, I guess, to our hand. Okay. Punch 8. We got 2k counter. Okay, down to 1 life. Man. We can go for game maybe next turn with Hound Blaze on like one of our Sengokus or something. I could have bounced this guy back, truthfully, but... okay. I expected more for him to just play out a... like Luffy or something. Got the Sabo. Alright. A lot of counter. We still have 13 cards in our deck. I don't know, it's an interesting like tactic to okay. Yeah, I don't know. We could Kaido, bounce that guy back, bounce Gyros back. He probably wouldn't be able to get rid of the Kaido. We can also just go for game here. We have 5 life, so it really does not matter. Does it give me like 5, and then leaves me 7 Dawn left. I can go 8, 9. It's not bad, but it's not like great. I'm just gonna go Kaido. Hope that he can't get it. We'll draw some counter. No, we don't. Unfortunate. Hopefully next turn, though, we keep the Kaido. Keep Kaido and just go for game with that. We can bottom deck any blocker that he plays out, pretty much. He's finally going to swing at me. Okie dokie. We'll take... We're 6 minutes left on his clock and it's the first swing. Crazy. We got a 2k counter. Because I mean, like, we are like pretty low on deck, but it's a matter of we just don't play out our searchers anymore and we're fine, right? I get maybe he doesn't want me to swing at the Kyros or anything. It's just a little silly, right? It's like we're still at 4 life so far in. No shade to this player or anything. Just silly. Like a control deck versus another control deck. He's down to 10 cards too, you know? He's not... Unless he plays out another like Luffy or something to put his trash back, you know? Got a blocker. It's unfortunate that's a 3 cost, right? Okay. Picks up another 2k counter. Man. Is he going to swing with either of the Zoros? Probably not now that he's played out his blockers, right? That'd be... Hey, that's a little crazy. We'll probably just play out the Kyros. We can still even split a little bit better with the Hound Blaze still. Even Red Rock one of them too. If we just really wanted to. Okay. We can also Jozu. I think we'll Kyros just to establish a much bigger body. Go there. Do I Hound Blaze to apply more pressure here to force him to kind of block and take? 9-12 versus 8-12. We just gave him a 2k back. We know he has another 2k. He doesn't play out any like 2-cost blockers, I don't think. So I'm just going to do it this turn. No target. 9 to try and get a lot more cards out of his hand. Looking for 3 cards or a block. And then we have 5k counter to defend Kyros if he plays out like Luffy or something. He's down to 6. A little crazy. Okay. And then we'll just swing 12 blocks and we'll pass. Yeah, this is a crazy game. 5 cards, 10 cards. Man, I'm sure I've made quite a few mistakes, incorrect sequencing or anything, but like it is just a grind, right? Him KOing my board, swinging it with the Luffy. He does draw. He's at 3. Kind of crazy. Got a -3 cost. Look at that trash. Yeah, hopefully we can just even bottom deck a blocker. I don't know at this point. But 1 life, hopefully our board sticks. If not, we'll split with Sengoku or anything, you know. We know he's got 1 Bardo blocker, 2k in there. I don't think he's got the resources to clear both, luckily. Okay, GG. Just does not have the answer, I guess. Nope, doesn't look like it. 30 minutes and just gone with the wind. Kid, interesting. Very aggro, very big swings. So finding a lot of 2Ks, that's pretty good. We're going second. So I'm going to keep just because we got Grab Blade really good. Jozu and Perona even better. We'll pick up a 2K counter. And then probably Perona. I think we'll take... If he plays out... Honestly, I don't even care for a lot of these truthfully. But, 3,000 Worlds, whatever he plays out next turn. And then we can Jozu the turn after that. Kind of perfect curve for removal. Because I imagine he plays out like 3-cost Pudding this next turn. Which will be really good to get rid of. Yep. So that allows him to just use his leader ability. 6 at us. I think I will counter 2. Keep our hand size down a bit. So that way we can just keep drawing even once we bounce something back and like a couple times with Jozu. And also I predict much higher swings, right, in the coming turns. So we'll just Grab Blade, draw, get that 2k. And we got a 2k back from our draw anyway. Swing 5. But the good part about this matchup is because he's incentivized to take those first 2 swings, not having to commit any other Dawn for it, right? Just those 5k pokes for our tempo curve. are kind of more likely to go through than other matchups. He plays out Wire from OP10. Interesting. He gains Rush. 7. I can counter out of this because I'll draw into, I think, a Perona or another 1 cost, and then I can get back another one. But I do just want my hand size low. Again, there's a 2K counter too. I don't even feel good about giving that back to him, truthfully. But it is what it is to draw us with our leader building. So we'll take Sengoku, bounce that back, draw. We got a 2K counter yet. Okay, I knew there was another buggy in there that I stacked. So even though we over countered that swing, it allowed us this turn to get another 2K back and a 1K. Pudding coming out, not another card. So I mean, we can bottom deck the pudding with a Grav Blade, but that 10 we're gonna take. It would have been nice if we got like a trigger to get rid of it. Yeah, I think we might do that. Let's Perona then, since we're gonna just swing, see what we want to take. We'll definitely get going up to 10 next turn. I can probably put these a little bit higher, because Kaido is kind of my answer to whatever he plays out, which, if anything, might be like a Rayleigh or a Rush card. We'll do that. Let's just get rid of his pudding. Just 1 target, draw. Swing 5 and then 7. I don't really want to give him back like a Rayleigh to do another on play, but that just means he have to commit like a 7 Don or 8 Don to it, and the Rayleigh doesn't really pop anything on my board besides my 1 cost that I don't care too much about at this point. He takes the 5. I know he has the 2K in there. I gave it back to him. See what else he gives. I mean, I would have just used the 2K. If you don't have any other counter, probably just 2K the 5K swing. All right, Ben Beckman, and we pass. So 9 Don. If he does Rayleigh, you know, we could lose our Jozu possibly. He plays out the kid. Okay. All right. 8. That's gonna be 9 and 10. All right. We'll 2K, 2K. Okay. Okay. I wish I played put up. Well, actually, I can Kaya to get that out of there. I can Kaido too. Yeah, I think that might be better, because then that gets me this out, and then I get a Perona back. Yeah, we'll do that. So let's bounce, bounce. We get to draw as well. So then we can just poke 5 and 7 again. We establish a 12K to go for game the following turn, because if he plays out another blocker, we can just Red Rocket, right? Hopefully the 7 goes through. Or he gives us counter. That's nice as well. Lakamazo for 2K, and then does he give us the kid that we just bounced, or no? Another Beckman. Interesting. Well, I guess the Beckman doesn't really hit anything with that 7K stat line, so that's good for us. Okay, kid comes back out. We might just see, yeah, okay, a big swing coming at that. Do we have enough counter? 12. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We actually do. Is it valid enough to dump my entire hand? Probably not. Right? We can just do this to kind of perfectly get that out. We'll take a 2K, and then next turn we'll get like the bounce law. All right, so we'll just Kyros, get rid of that, draw into a 2K, swing 5 and then 12. So he'll counter out the 5 most likely, and then the 12. This is very annoying. I get, right? Kind of just bouncing back whatever your opponent played out. However, he does have the advantage of like very big swings, and you know, red, right, can be pretty aggressive. However, we kind of saw a pretty perfect curve, I would say, into this, just being able to properly respond to everything he played out on the turn he plays it out. It's not going to always happen, but like the pieces I chose for this, try to make it as consistent as possible. And now we have a blocker if he does want to go big at Kaido, although we do have another 2K. So 5 to 10, we can just block out. Yeah, and then if he plays a blocker, we can just red rock it and push for game. Oh, the restand. Oh, he could even go for Kaido, right? Because he could do that, the when attacking again, right? Put him up to 12? 13. So we go 2K. Luckily we get out of it. At that point, we'll just push for game with our big bodies. And should be GG. So yeah, even sometimes when you need to over counter, it can be worth it. GG. We got a limb. I almost want to take first from them, and I kind of do. Ooh, interesting. I almost want a mulligan for Grav Blade. Okay. This could go... Whoa. What the heck? Sengoku, what are you doing here? Interesting. Very interesting. Interesting. Take that. 8K swing to your face. Cool. And then next turn, 5 Dawn, we can get rid of whatever they play out. We don't have a 2K. This is very interesting. Kind of unfortunate that Mihawk. That's good for us to get out of the way early though. Let's just swing 6 at life. Get rid of that guy. And then we do have Kyros to do the same thing, bounce back whatever they play next. We don't get the draw, which kind of sucks, but is what it is. We're gonna definitely keep the red rock for Zoro coming down if they got it. Hopefully we can get rid of it. We did get a nice 2K counter out of their hand. What do they play out? And also like the Mihawk getting that out early, right? Just because it can be some pretty bad aggression for us. That sucks. But 7, I have to take again. Oh, I actually don't know if I want to use this. I kind of want to keep it for just another Zoro, right? 6 Dawn, we'll just poke 5 and get rid of the ace. I mean, it's a 2K counter though, but it's like less swings at us. So go boom, bam, pass. We're just trying to limit their swings. So now if they want to play out a Zoro, that's like their whole turn, and I can just red rock it and it's gone, you know? Or the fact that we can now get rid of 2 of their big bodies, and we've kind of denied them their even audio, right? And now we can swing at them too with Jozu, which is nice. Crashes a Sakazuki, and then we can 2K this, so that'll get our hand size down a bit. That's good. Finally getting some 2Ks. Okay, there's gonna be no big bodies for them. Let's Sengoku. We pick up a Law. That's good. That's actually what we were looking for. It doesn't get us down low enough, unfortunately. We would need like another 1 cost. Let's get rid of their audio. I think we'll poke 5 at life, 8 at Anel. Does choose to counter out, but that's a lot of his hand. And then yeah, for the next couple turns we can just oof. Forgot they played that. We'll block out that. counter 1 with the Jozu there. Well, that's actually perfect. We can establish something. It won't be enough to... we can't bounce back anything, right? But at least having a body out is nice. And we don't use card action. We red rock their Shanks. They probably hate me. I would hate me. And then we can do it again. We'll 2K that. They don't have another big body, but they are cycling, so they could get one the following turn. So this next turn will probably play out Kaido, bounce back Enel and our Sengoku, get some counter to our hand. They trash the ace 2K counter, so I wonder if they have a lot of 2K counters. Or we can also Kaido to get rid of the limb. Yeah. Rosinante, that's also pretty good for us to get rid of. Oh my gosh. That's a 3 or less. Oh my god. That's diabolical. That's just unfortunate though. Let's go 5 at life. 5 at life. Just kind of limit their swing so they can't end the game next turn. We got a 1K, so that's good. So yeah, 3K counter. Now we have a big body, and they just play out the limb again. So that means no like 9 cost Zoro or Shanks or anything audio coming out. They picked up another Rosinante. We can at least get that back, get that out. Okay, 7 there. We'll let go. And then we can just... Ooh. Well, here's the thing. I can also get rid of 2... Nah, I'm just gonna... Yeah. I could have bounced lawed and red rocked, obviously. Do I get rid of their blocker or their... Actually, I swing at the blocker because it stands up, but then that 5K is still targeting the blocker, right? Oh, he counters that. Interesting. I can bounce this on a blocker and then swing there, and then they only have a limb. Yeah. And we got a brick, but we still have 3K counter. So 212. If he has another Shanks, that's pretty rough, but then we can get rid of it, and that's his whole turn. And we can get out of his swings. 2. Zoro. Okay, no, that's perfect. Same thing, but it's a little bit better because we keep our big body. We might not... I don't even think we need to get rid of it, but I'm going to just in case. Honestly, I would be pretty upset at this point. It's kind of crazy. We can... we double blocker. What does he have? Okay. Putting out 2 blockers kind of guarantees the win, and I feel bad, but you know, there was a risk in swinging a 9 there. Well, I don't know, because then I could have KO'd the limb, right? But this is kind of guarantee. There's not much. Even if you could rest 1 blocker and swing with the Nami, right? We'll block out. They put up 2 blockers. I think, yeah, we can still just win with 12, 12, 15, right? We can also get rid of blocker for 4 down now, if it's a low cost. Oh, Mihawk. Give it again? Well, now if you do, you can't. Okay. All right. I was a little scared. All right, GG. Yeah. Because that doesn't go... right? No, you can block out for it when attacking. But those are the games. Definitely a lot more tempo and control style, right? We lost that kind of ability to go wide and play more bodies with Jinbei, which kind of sucks, but I think Boa is still a really fun deck, pretty good. Definitely hurts to lose Jinbei for sure, you know, but now we got the opportunity to try new things, right? So let me know what you think of the list. Anything you would change, do differently down in the comments. Let me know. And as always, hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.